Ladies and gentlemen, greetings from your respective positions. Once again, you are welcome here on the Awakening of Consciousness platform. So, on the front page of international news, finally, the truth begins to emerge in this drone attack case, or at least this drone downing case, perpetrated by Algeria on April 1st, 2025. You know that Algeria shot down a Malian drone on April 1st, 2025. And then afterwards, it caused a lot of uproar. It even widened the gap diplomatically between Algeria and Mali, which even led the AES states to recall their various ambassadors from Algeria. And Algeria did the same. Since then, both states, Mali and Algeria, have officially referred the matter to the UN Security Council. We even wonder why. What is it? The cause, the reason, the motivation for Algeria's referral to the UN Security Council. So, today, as time goes by, more information is coming out about the real reason why the drone was shot down. It should be noted that the drone was not shot down in Algerian territory. We have demonstrated here with clear evidence. Now, according to sources close to the Algerian military authorities, a legal procedure has been initiated against two officials of the Algerian army. And these Algerian army officials are accused of being at the root of what happened to the drone. They are the ones who had the drone shot down. They are accused of this. And Algeria, the Algerian military authorities, accuse them of not waiting to receive the order. So, they, of their own accord, took this action. According to what is being said. In any case, there is a legal procedure against them that is already underway, according to the information we are receiving. So, but on the other hand, there is another reality, very different, another truth very different from what Algeria wants the world to believe. You know, the shooting down of this drone risks creating more tensions between these two countries that the two countries have never experienced before. So Algeria is trying to downplay this matter. Thus, Algeria is on the path to sacrificing two members of the Algerian military, sacrificing them, and then to demonstrate to the world that no, even if it was done on Algerian territory, they did not receive the order from the competent authorities. In other words, Algeria wants to hide something. Algeria wants to say that it was just an overzealous command that led these people to take this action. However, the truth is there. The truth is that there is a chief instigator. When you cross-check the information, there is a chief instigator. I believe it's Ali Ayad, or another name of that sort. I will give you his name shortly. A major instigator, who is settled in a camp near Tenzawatin. A major instigator. So, according to the information, Mali was even preparing. The mission of the departing drone was to go against this man. Since the Malian intelligence services, the Malian army had received all the information and coordinates from where the man is located. This instigator, the Malian army, was preparing to eliminate him. So, it was necessary to block the Malian army. And in this case, aren't we witnessing, according to this theory? It's a theory, since the reality is that the Malian army was preparing to neutralize the threat, the tyrant. And it was this drone that was intended to do the job. But the drone was shot down. So already there is a big question that arises. Was the objective not to protect him? Big question mark. Ladies and gentlemen, in the context of this video conference, this is of course what we are going to discuss. But before diving deep, I ask you to share this video conference as much as possible. And above all, leave your various opinions in the comments, since we have two opposing theses. There you go. So, let's go. what's happening? So, we learned that apparently it was to protect this leader Taro called Yad Eg Agali. He is a jihadist leader, among the most wanted in the Sahel. And so, according to official information, General Mohammed Rem Dania, who is the commander of operational control of the Air Force in the 6th Military Region, as well as a colonel whose identity has not been revealed, are currently the subject of a judicial procedure. So it is these two high-ranking officials who are the subject of judicial proceedings. It is these two that Algeria wants to sacrifice. That is to say, Algeria wants to pin this affair on them. Algeria wants to say that they are responsible for what happened. So, Algeria thinks it can thus camouflage the situation. But according to the information we are receiving from sources close to the case on the side of Algeria, that's not it. And according to the information coming from Mali, that's not it. But what was said, let's go back to the two military officers. It was said that these two military officers are accused of not respecting the chain of command and of engaging fire against the Malian drone. Without first referring to the chief of staff, Said Shangriha, so they engaged fire. But they did not refer to their chief of staff. That's the argument. But let's go back to the truth. According to sources close to the matter, this version of events is not real. And so, the true version would be that these prosecutions that are underway are to divert attention, since Algeria does not want it to be known that Algeria would be protecting, I put it in the conditional, this man who is the most wanted, the Chief Taro, the most wanted. And so, the two military officials are simply being sacrificed, since these legal proceedings are just a diversion to hide a protection operation. So, it seems like it was a genuine protection operation. Who needs to be protected? This man, this Chief Taro, what is his name again? This Chief Taro, who has a very complicated name, Yada Gali. So, here is this truth that is gradually coming to light. But if this version is confirmed, it will be very, very serious between Algeria and Mali, and even the AES. And all the states in the world should look at Algeria, since we have always said that it seems like Algeria protects the Tele-Tele. But this time, it's the worst. If this thesis is confirmed, I emphasize once again that it's conditional. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that was once again the headline of international news. Thank you for sharing it as much as possible. I will be back shortly with new updates. This was the voice of your humble servant, Robert Théa.